Hi Piccolos, just a quick video to go over a practice guide for the Mamma Mia section in ABBA Gold band arrangement. Starting here at 55, this is really tricky, and on Piccolo we're exposed. First thing of course is to practice slow, and it's all about the groupings. To start, I would make sure you see the pattern. So you have B flat F over and over, and then G flat B flat. And then it switches back and forth. Of course, it's super awkward because everything is offset by that last eighth note. So we have first B flat to F, and you have to use the 1-in-1, which I hardly ever use, but you have to do it here for the B flat because you're going to G flat, and the B flat won't come out, or I'm sorry, the G flat, high G flat will not come out if your thumb is on the B flat side. So you have to do this 1-in-1 fingering. So anyway, the first pattern, fairly easy, and then, but you have to go to high G flat. So it's a little more activity here in the fingers. But notice that the first one, B flat to F, is only the ring finger in the left hand is moving. Bump, 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 bump. Sometimes just realizing what fingers are actually moving is helpful. The G flat, B flat, you're doing this pattern, you know, it's a little more awkward, but just be aware that that's where you're doing. You can even just practice that without blowing into the piccolo. So anyway, you could practice it with those patterns with a little pause in between, like this. Having those groupings, visual groupings, is very helpful. Really do that accent every time you have it because it starts the new pattern. You know, etc. If you're really getting tangled in here and struggling, I would probably leave a note out. It's really hard to know which one. You need all the high ones, of course, but I would maybe leave out the second to last note in every measure, maybe. Let's see. I mean, that might be helpful. And one other thing you could do that might be helpful is from high G flat to the B flat is just leave this G flat key down, the F sharp key down. So you're on high G flat, going to the B flat, you're lifting the ring finger and putting down this first finger in right hand, but just leaving this guy down. Bum, 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 bum. So you're only doing two fingers and they're going in exact opposite of each other. That might be good. Yeah. Some ways to practice. I already went over one way in which you're playing each grouping and then sort of pausing and then doing the next grouping. Another way would be playing one measure plus one connecting note. And you start slow, of course. So I went to that B flat. Now I'm going to restart on that B flat. Stop on that B flat, restart there. I did a little thing somewhere, I heard it. So if you're doing that, if you're getting the then it's just too much air, and try to do a little less. The air speed needs to be fast for those high Fs and the high G flats especially, but you want a very narrow airstream for those top notes, and very, very short and very pecky. Bup, 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 bup. Another way to practice that's similar to the way I just went over would be to do just half of the measure plus connecting note all the way through. And you could also just do a lot of B flat, G flats over and over again, like the real fingering, or if you're just leaving that down. But if I do the real fingering, or if I leave it down, the, what is that, ring finger in the right hand. And for just getting those high G flats out, it's very hard. You can just practice doing G flats. Get used to how fast that air is, and it does not have to be loud. I mean, it says mezzo forte, but don't worry about dynamics at all. You're just doing enough air speed for the note to speak, especially on a squirrely note like G flat. So it just needs to be fast. It just pecks right out of the air. Okay, I'll play it down once these, I assume, 8 measures. Yep. Okay, I think that's it. The second page is, I think, all very playable. It looks like it anyway. Good luck on this very fun song. Happy practicing.